All right, you got some news?
Let's do it. Yeah, well, speaking of Minnesota, this has been making the rounds. A new video of the killing of Alex Preddy shows the interaction between him and a swarm of DHS officers from start to finish, and it batters the credibility of Trump officials who came out of the gate swinging, calling Preddy a domestic terrorist. The video shows Preddy directing traffic before it appears he is asked to move out of the street, which he does. As he walks towards the sidewalk, a DHS officer pushes a woman to the ground. Preddy moves towards her. Officers then pepper spray both Preddy and the woman and drag Preddy to the ground. Preddy's family, after the incident, released a statement in the aftermath of the shooting, blasting the Trump administration. The statement reads, in part, the sickening lies told about our son by the administration are reprehensible and disgusting.
All right, so I never thought I would have to say this, but white people don't wrestle with cops. I used to tell my black listenership not to wrestle with cops. Whitey, you're going to get shot too. This is a much worse shooting, I think, than the good minivan thing. This is worse, although he had a gun and good didn't have a gun. This one is worse. And he didn't really wrestle with cops. What I'm saying is don't insert yourself into this situation. You could get shot. And then people go, was it a good killing or was it a bad killing? And then they go, oh, that was a bad killing. He shouldn't have been shot. It's like, oh, okay, I'll reanimate his corpse and explain to him that the joke's on the cops. Like, you're still dead. So I would suggest not getting involved. And also, do not underestimate 28-year-old dudes with guns and you calling them Nazis and pigs and spitting on them for 5 hours. Do not underestimate their ability to reach for that gun at some point. It will happen. And then everyone will go, oh, so it's okay? No, it's not okay. It's going to happen. It has to happen. If you go, here's the combination. Here's the stew that I'm cooking. Lots of dudes with guns getting called horrible, horrible things for hours on end. Sometimes bottles thrown at them or snowballs or pushed or spat upon or something, but they got the guns. Hours of that, then mixed with throngs of people, either in cars driving toward them or pushing toward them, or general confusion lots of times. That is going to translate into X amount of citizens getting shot per year. If you just said, this is something we're going to do 24/7 all year long, you'd go, okay, at the end of the year, there's going to be like 26 people shot. And then you go, is that right? It's like, no, it's not right. Those guys have guns. You antagonize them for long periods of time. Scuffles break out. And then as they say, shit happens. That's how this works. And it's going to work. By the way, it'll keep going in different iterations. You know what I mean? It'll be a woman in a van blocking somebody. It'll be a guy out in the street. They'll be shoving and pepper spraying. There'll be all different versions of people getting shot, but it will translate into people getting shot. Absolutely. Like if my kid was like, I'm going to go out and antagonize ICE officers, I'd be like, can't you just get on that nice Honda 125? I just watched you do a few hot laps around town.
You got to do a wheelie.
A couple of 12 o'clockers. Just pull up next to a cruiser and kick the door real hard and just take off. He can't chase you.
Yeah, I've seen Bad News Bears. Kelly Leak was all through that ball field. It's fine. Yeah. Yep. I don't know if we have the video up. I don't know if you wanted to watch it at all.
I've seen it a million times. It's a bad shooting.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a bad shooting Here's what I want to say to everyone. You are relying on these people to do something that's not within human capabilities, which is see red, adrenaline dump, scuffle, pepper spray, have no idea who's armed and who's not armed, and not have anybody's gun go off prematurely. That's what you're asking.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen. But not as long as human beings are carrying the gun. So you will get shot. You can go, well, that's not right. Well, I agree it's not right.
Absolutely.
But
it's
stay home.
Yeah.
Stay home will be the answer. And then if you stay home, by the way, then they can just do their fucking job. And that'll be that, like they do in many other municipalities. But you guys won't do that. And then you make these arguments. Here's my thing about all these fuckwads. And I don't like all these guys because they're not getting anything accomplished. And ICE is there to remove people. Let them do their fucking job. And then here's your argument. there's two arguments. One is ICE says 70% of these people have, violent criminal histories or whatever. And then the argument is 70% of these people don't have any criminal history. All right. And then, by the way, that means 30% of them have a violent criminal history. Could be rape, could be murder, could be any pedophilia, whatever it is. So I'm fine with the ratio. Here's what you're basically saying to me. Take 70% of the people who are here illegally because they're not supposed to be here illegally anyway. That's just the law. So they're here illegal. That's 70%. And then 30% are actual felons who have actually involved themselves with crime and God knows what. Human trafficking, who knows? Rape, who knows? That's a fine ratio for me. Now, you want to flip it and you go 70% violent crime and 30% just here illegally? That's fine too. They're all here illegally, idiots. And then and it's worth it to get rid of 70%, and I'm using their numbers, which I'm sure is a lie, but it is worth getting rid of 70% of people who are here illegally to get 30, which turns out to be a large group of people if you're getting into the millions, of rapists and child abusers and murderers. I'm fine with that. So I'll use your math. The other math that you assholes like to use which is another lie, but it's fine. We'll use it. They go, well, American-born citizens, people here, kill at a higher rate than the illegals who are here. You understand that? Which is a lie, but fine. I'll go along with you. So your argument is however many of these chicks got raped or killed by illegals, that's okay because a higher percentage of white folks, or maybe a white guy would have killed them later in the week. I guess that's your argument. I don't want anybody. It should be zero. This is this argument. It's a retarded argument where they go, well, these guys come in and most of them don't murder anybody. And then you guys who are born here, you murder more. All right, but there's still some amount of murder you're just agreeing on there's some amount of murder. So the white guys kill 100 of our daughters, and then the guys who are here illegally only kill 37 of our daughters. Is that your argument? How about my argument? They shouldn't be here. Then we just have 100 dead from Whitey. Fucking retards. Shut the fuck up with your retarded arguments. They're not supposed to be here. Go the fuck home. You're not doing anything, and you're getting people killed. And so is Waltz, and so is, what's his name, Jacob Fry. You're inciting all this stuff. Try it. All right, let's do an experiment. Everyone stay home for 5 days, and let's see if there's anybody shot. Can we do that?
Let me ask you about this. I've been thinking a lot about it the last couple of days, especially being from Minnesota. And what if, because I grew up at a time when we thought that there was supposed to be some shame, and it worked a little bit, and my dad was named the #1 biggest ower of child support in the state of Minnesota. And the state of Minnesota...
And they said he wouldn't amount to anything.
Yeah, right. I mean, obviously on top of the winners list.
Now wait, was that all the way back in high school? Like I got class clown, there's more likely to succeed.
Yeah.
He got that designation in high school.
They put him in the yearbook, yeah. I mean, there was another woman that was with him. It was a boy-girl thing, it was like best dressed, nicest eyes, and then owes most child support. Yes, obviously. But they put out a list to sort of shame deadbeat dads into pain. And there was a lot of states that wouldn't do it because they thought there was some sort of anonymity disclosure and it was against people's civil rights. You're not supposed to release their name as the government. Okay, well, at this point, obviously, ICE is not going anywhere. So let's start to maybe put a plan into place in Minneapolis where they have a list of all the people that they're looking for. Why don't we put out a list of names? Because what happened was, instead of shaming guys into paying child support, a lot of them, much like my dad, got out of the state. They just split. And then I grew up without a dad for the first 14 years of my life. And it sort of triggered a lot of people leaving. Why not just put out a list of all the people that they're looking for and go, if you know any of these people, there's a reward, let us know. If you know these people, hand them in. Or if not, if you know that we're coming for them and we see you see us with that person, let us do our job. At least it's a plan to start to move things in the right direction. Because right now, it just feels like it's the goddamn Wild West.
I agree, but the municipal police department and Fry and the mayor and the governor need to fucking do something because they're getting people killed. The blood is on their hands. They like to pretend it's on ICE. It's not. It's on them because they're letting this chaos and they're perpetuating it and they're calling everyone a Nazi. Then, by the way, if you believe it, then you should be protesting. All right, Larchmont Village prostitute story. That is one.
Talk
I'm
about this
interested
one?
in.
Sure,
Yes.
yeah. So with much of the Los Angeles Police Department understaffed, vice units focused on the illegal sex trades in the infamous Figueroa Street corridor. Residents in the picturesque community of Larchmont Village say much of that business had spilled into their neighborhood.
Yeah, spilled is the operative
A
word.
family-friendly community now becoming a living nightmare. Residents in Larchmont Village say it's all because of rampant prostitution. They say the obscene behavior often takes place just a few feet from their homes.
And they say it is getting worse despite their pleas to police for help. KTLA's Rachel Menitoff is live from Larchmont Village with the story.
Great
Rachel.
assignment.
Rick, people tell us that oftentimes
Hold on
an
a
entire
second.
block.
There has to be some discussion in the newsroom. Like, all right, we need someone to go out to SeaWorld because a new dolphin was born, and the dolphin is named Cubby, and we're going to do a fluff piece on Cubby. It's beautiful. We're going to win. And then someone has to go out to Larchmont and stand in jizz. Now, who's... Sheila, I saw your hand go up first.
Wait, whale jizz? No.
No.
Human jizz.
Tammy, better start hitting it. San Diego's going to be at least 3 hours with traffic. So why don't you chop up the van right now? Anyway, Tammy, I'll tell you what. I got a couple spent condoms in the bathroom I found. Why don't you bring those with you in case we need to get a cutaway or something like that? All right? We'll do it at night, too. Here we go.
Rick, people tell us that oftentimes an entire block will be filled with parked cars where people are engaging in sex, and then they'll throw out their trash and used items onto the street.
items.
This has actually been happening for many years, but lately it seems to be escalating.
By the way, can I pause it there? If you have to pick up a used item with a ballpoint pen, that's bad.
Yeah.
That's a bad item.
Yeah.
Because you don't pick up a Coke can with a ballpoint pen.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
That's Blues Brothers.
Yeah,
One prophylactic,
that's
one
right.
used.
That's right.
During the day, this Larchmont neighborhood is picturesque. Longtime homeowners say it's when the sun goes down that things become sketchy and the unwanted encounters begin.
They're taking advantage of a human need in a disgusting way.
Larry says he often wakes up to this: a woman barely clothed walking across the street,
Man.
used condoms, sanitary napkins, tissues, and all kinds of remnants from illegal sex trafficking and prostitution.
I have to come out in the morning and scoop up used condoms with semen coming out of them.
I looked at
You
a
can't
cat.
imagine. how
Oh, you gotta
disgusting
rewind it and say
You
it.
have to do it every
I'm
day. It's
always,
really quite remarkable.
pause it. I'm always amazed at the people that have to give you the extra thing. You know what I mean?
Oh, they give you a
it's
little too much
weird-
info?
Yeah, it's a weird thing. Like they'll go like, I went in to visit Nana and she was out of her mind and she's in dementia and she's in nothing but a gown. And so I was trying to soothe her, but her vagina was out.
Yeah,
You know, and you're like,
yeah.
come on, just say you visited your grandma. You just visited your grandma. We'll do the dementia gown math.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'll keep Nana's vagina in my head. I don't need you saying it.
This guy says he had to pick up the used condom. So we've done the math.
Yeah.
We've done the math. We know there wasn't pixie dust or Nutella coming
Yeah.
out of there. We know what's in the condom, but he had to add it.
King and prostitution.
I have to come out in the morning and scoop up used condoms with
Scoop.
semen coming out of them. You can't imagine how disgusting it is. And to be able to have to do it every day, it's really quite remarkable.
Occasionally,
Hold on,
sometimes
let me put down my McFlurry or whatever. I got a vanilla shake. Let me set that down. All right, keep it going.
Do
Sorry.
it every day, it's really quite remarkable.
occasionally, sometimes it's violent. The sex workers and Johns are getting in fights with each other. They're screaming at each other. They're getting physical with each other.
Other nearby neighborhoods impacted are St. Andrews Square, Windsor Square, and Koreatown. Karen Gilman says police advised them not to intervene. So instead, they've put up these signs letting the Johns and the pimps know they're on camera, and neighbors are recording their
All right,
license.
pause it there. Okay, here's the thing. If you're not going to force anything, then who cares how much camera time you get?
Yeah,
you know what I
what's the
mean? Like if
difference?
someone said, here's a bank. Yeah, you can't rob it. You might get shot. All right, there's another bank. It's filled with cameras. Oh, okay. But they're never going to do anything. I'd go, well, then are the cameras going to stop me from robbing the bank? No. Well, then I'll just rob the bank with the cameras in it. I don't care if I'm being filmed. Nobody in LA cares. No criminals care if they're being filmed because they never enforce anything, so it doesn't matter. We did this in the wrong-headed department. In the every single thing a leftist or progressive, every idea they have is wrong and ends up wrong department. This is one more of why are we criminalizing? This is a sex working community. This impacts women of color. And it's like, all right, more jizz on the sidewalk, everybody. Come on down. It's awesome. You guys should know, Nithya Raman, the dumb shit city council member who, by the way, was mad at Toyota for making catalytic converters so easy to steal on their car. That dumb shit, who was also responsible for tearing down the guy's treehouse in Sherman Oaks simultaneously while the Palisades in Malibu were burned to the ground. There's no permits. She's tearing down a treehouse. I mean, her constituency. They had a big celebration like a year ago because they got a no U-turn sign taken down on Hyperion and Silver Lake where there was all gay cruising going on. And the neighbors were tired of all the gay guys cruising up and down and giving blowjobs in a shrub in front of their house. So at some point in like 1985, they put a sign up that said no U-turn. Meaning you can't just have a never-ending succession of cars cruising in front of my house looking for gay hookups. She took the sign down with a bunch of he-she's and drag queens 9 months ago and looked at that as a huge victory for the citizens of Los Angeles. Mm-hmm. That's where their head is at. So you guys create all this stuff and then it comes home to roost, and then the dumb shits in the neighborhood who voted for you come out and they go, I don't know what's going on here. There's people out in my front yard having sex. There's condoms everywhere, feminine napkins. We've called the city council. Yes, because we created this.
Yeah.
We filled our city with rats. We stopped enforcing everything, and now we have this. Mm-hmm. Where's Nithya? She's a poster child. She went to Harvard, this one.
Also, I think Jizz on the Sidewalk is a John Cougar Mellencamp line. Yeah. Blood on the scarecrow. Jizz on the sidewalk. Yeah.
So we'll find Nithya. But either way, this is their idea of what they're in office for, to go with drag queens down to Hyperion Boulevard and take down a U-turn sign. By the way, in a city that has more traffic signs about not turning right on red or no U-turns or no merge or whatever, all we are is one big traffic sign. She's interested in that traffic sign. Yeah, because they're dumb. But this is what we have.
There it is. Yeah,
it's the greatest. This is the great. I don't know. Is this a year old? This is the greatest piece of footage ever. And I like the idea that they celebrate this.
Martinez and Nithya Raman were on hand today to help remove the signs. They say the no cruising and no U-turn signs were put up in the 1990s to prevent people in the gay community from meeting up with other gay people.
Yes, on people's lawns.
Yes, in their yards.
That's why they were put. You caught us. We don't want people boffing on our lawn. Okay, where I raised my kids.
Yeah.
Yes, that's why they were up. But you can keep the story going because it's great.
I was also surprised that these U-turn signs were still up. And at first, they seem a little, okay, it's just a no U-turn sign. But when you learn the history of it and you realize that these were used to profile gay people, it's so important that we have these removed.
Well, it's not like you're a straight guy and you make a U-turn there and then the cops pull you over and you go, oh, no, I'm into vag. That's my thing. And they go, oh, you know what? No ticket for you then. Sorry about that. No, it's for everybody.
They have no U-turn signs all over. Yes. No, the people who live in that neighborhood, what they did is they got to their city council people in 1989 and they lobbied to get the signs put up because they said, we're tired of these gay guys driving around in a circle in front of our house at 2 a.m. after they leave Cuffs, the bar in Silver Lake. Mm-hmm. So they put the signs up. But their number one job, by the way, Nithya Raman looks at her job as taking down tree houses and taking down signs, not permits, rebuilding, motorcycle gangs, graffiti. None of that.
Yeah.
This is her job.
Yeah, and they're not thinking about 2 years from now when somebody makes an illegal U-turn because there is no sign. They don't see it. They make that U-turn and somebody slams into the side of them, and now we got a couple of dead girls on our hand. They never think about that down the road. They're just thinking about the optics of it. Look at us and the thumbs up that we get for the LGBTQ community.
I'll play you the rest of this. It's great. That's by the middle of the week. What are you doing today?
Park Boulevard, right on the side of District 13, and today we removed
Hugo Soto Martinez, hyphenated Spanish name, always retarded.
That were used to discriminate against the LGBT community, and so we removed the last remnants of that terrible policy, and so it's a very joyful and exciting day.
That's a big day. Big day. I live in Los Angeles where you don't realize how much this has impacted my life.
Relic of the 90s anti-gay policies in Los Angeles.
It's not anti-gay.
There were signs that explicitly said no cruising, which had been removed years ago.
Yeah, no cruising.
During the 1990s, it was very much
no cruising anywhere.
Area where a lot of the LGBT community had no other option but to meet each other in the streets. So this.
All right, you're gonna pause it. Listen, there's no other option if you're gay but to screw on people's lawns. Don't you have an apartment with a pull-out sofa or futon?
They have hourly rates at hotels. I mean, come on.
There was no other option. We just had to have sex against someone's shrub. There's no, of course. You're feeling a little amorous.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? Yeah, you got to hit the lawn.
We saw an old sofa on the way here, and I told my girlfriend we must stop and fuck on this sofa outside of this person's house because it's there. Because we have no other choice. We can't go back to my apartment in Las Vegas.
No.
We must do it here on the streets of Los Angeles.
Yes. What are the choices? There's nothing else they could do. All right.
And had asked them what we could
by the way, I love that this guy reached out to the city. I love it when these raison d'etre of these idiots. It's like, I'm going to get a sign taken down. That's it. Yeah, such a hero. Such a hero.
That's all they're proposing. Get a sign taken down.
Jesus, man. His dad's sitting home in Indiana and he sees this.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, oh, Jesus Christ, I told you.
Yep. I blame your side of the family, Maureen.
Yeah, that's right. All right, throw the clock up, please, Andrew. And I just want to say this. Bigger picture. I want people to get this picture. All the fakakta ideas. I was explaining this to Dr. Drew, but I like this analogy. All the bad ideas that come out of the left, all of them. We're going to decriminalize prostitution because it disproportionately affects the brown and black community, and these are sex working men, and now you just got condoms everywhere and chicks being used, and I don't know, really junky chicks being turned out by Johns and used for sex. That's the direction you want to go. Mm-hmm. These people need help. But every one of their defund the police. Okay. Open the border. Okay. They are all of their ideas, let's start teaching English and Spanish in schools. Okay, the kids don't learn English and then they get held back their entire life. Let them learn English starting at age 5. By the time they're 9, they'll be fluent. That'll be that. But you want to teach them in Spanish, which means they'll be held back their entire life. But here's the example I'm saying, whether it's, defund the police and then more crime, but take like English versus Spanish. In Los Angeles, like if you said English is the language, that's what we're going to teach them in. They'll immerse in it. They're fine. They'll catch on fast. Maybe it'll be tough in kindergarten and first grade, but they'll catch on fast and it'll be what's best for them. They would argue and they would call you racist and xenophobic. Every one of their horrible leftist ideas all eventually gets torn down. Like everything with COVID. Everything with COVID you guys got wrong. You got masks wrong. You got dissing wrong. Ivermectin. Everything. Vaccines. You got everything wrong, but you're right in the moment. And then we do this. So every one of your horrible ideas is like gravity. So gravity is like the truth. Eventually, common sense and the truth catch up. But their ideas are sort of like this. And this was my analogy. If I hold this pen out and I drop it, it's immediately captured by gravity. And you go, okay, well, that's not going to work. Their ideas are affected by gravity, but down the road. So it's like I hold the pen out and I let go and it floats there. And I go, see? And then down the road, the kid who got Spanish instead of English is working a shitty dead-end job because he's being held back because he doesn't know the language of the land that he lives in. But it's down the road. The border shit, the defund the police, all things COVID, decriminalize prostitution, clean injection zones, judgment-free zones where they'll get syringes. Okay. It sits for a second and everyone applauds. Let's get rid of the U-turn sign. Let's do that. And it sits there and they go, see? Not so bad, right? And then the fucking chickens come home to roost. That's all your horrible ideas. So let's just see if we can understand that in advance so we don't have to then mop up after your bad ideas. The whole reason everyone's getting shot everywhere in your own Minnesota is because of the bad deals of the open border. You left the border open. Millions of people came in, and now we need to get them out. That's on you. That's not on ICE. That's on your fucking horrible Biden administration. You guys did this. And now we have to clean up your mess, and people are getting shot because they're going to get shot because it has to go that way because you can't take thousands and hundreds of thousands of armed guys, push them up against crazy bitches and minivans and expect this not to happen. It's going to happen. How come it's happening? Because you guys left the fucking border open. You did it. Okay? And don't give me that shit where like, I didn't want to. He brought materials to build a border wall and you sold them off for scrap. So don't tell me this isn't part of your plan. All right. Rudy Pavich. Great job. Go to adamcarolla.com for all live shows. Shows coming up Thursday, New York City at Rodney's, and also in Kennedy Center. You can go there as well. That'll be Saturday. Rudy?
Yeah, buddy.
Where should we go to find your dates?
You can go to rudypavichcomedy.com. I'm going to be in Cincinnati on Wednesday, Columbus, Ohio on Thursday, Toledo Friday, Saturday, and then that entire Florida run with you, Tampa, Orlando, and Naples. I'll be with you the first week of February.
Go to adamcarolla.com for all live dates. Till next time, Adam Carolla for Megan Kelly and Rudy Pavich saying, Mahala.
Thanks, man. Adam from Delaware here. Just wanted to give you a little State of the Union. This week, I ate beef stew for breakfast. I don't own any bracelets at all. I bought the beef on discount because it was going bad, and I ate it directly out of the pot because I didn't want to make a bowl dirty. Get it on.
You can leave us a message at 888-634-1744.
I'll tell you, one of the, what I would consider innocuous tweets that I put out that seemed to anger dudes the most is I just announced in the middle of COVID more dudes wear bracelets now than eat stew. And that made dudes angry. Yeah. But it was a better time when men ate more stew and wore less bracelets.
It should be a bumper sticker. More stew, less bracelets.
It's an indicator of what, it's people will go, who cares about stew and who cares about bracelets? I don't know. You find me a chick with a septum ring, and I'll find you someone I hate. Mm-hmm. And then you go, what's that have to do? Were you against jewelry? No, I'll just know who I'm dealing with. So it's like it's a sign.
I don't know how the septum ring became such an empowering thing. It's what you put on a beast of burden to lead it around. Why they chose that, I don't get.
The septum ring is the female deep leg cross. So when Gavin,
crush your nuts. They're crushing their own nuts.
Right. Yeah. It doesn't look good.
Right.
And it's painful and it's not comfortable. Right. And an infection could set in. But it's important that you signal to people who you are. So when you see the dude with the deep leg cross, then he's signaling. And when you see the chick with the septum piercing, she's signaling as well. It's the version, because they can't do the leg cross because they already crossed their legs that way. The thing that's funny is the agreement that the interviewer guy has, because everyone who interviews Newsom does the deep leg cross to sort of present. You know what I mean? Yes. It's like in the animal world, it's called, yes. Well, I will let you know that this is a hospitable zone for you by doing a deep leg cross.
Right.
All right. I don't know what I'm hearing. Because it's a weird. By the way.
Oh, I'll tell you what it is.
The second I said it,
I'll tell you what
stopped.
it is.
The second I said it.
Because I stopped moving. These are necklaces under my T-shirt.
That's what I thought I was hearing.
Yes, they are. That's what that is. I apologize for that. I also have a bracelet on, but I eat more stew than bracelets.
Oh, yeah. You got one bracelet.
I got one bracelet.
You're like
I've had it since I was 18.
You're like 3 stews to one bracelet.
My stew to bracelet ratio is really...
It's about the ratio
in good shape.
to me. Yeah. All right. And I thought it was coming from you, but the very second I said it, it stopped.
That's because I stopped moving.
All right. Well,
yes, that's me. I'll be aware of that.
Zip your shit up a little.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So here's what I was thinking about. I was thinking about the fact that, the indigenous people, they always go, the Indians go, well, this is our land. Sorry. This is our land. And then Mexico's like, well, we Southwest, that's all us. That should be all us. They go, we Arizona, Nevada, California, that should be all us. Okay. Which you can make an argument for, but understand this, indigenous people who wants Arizona and Nevada back, there would be no Hoover Dam. Right. There'd just be dirt.
Sure.
You understand? There'd be no Las Vegas. There'd be no Sphere. There'd just be fucking dirt. Because
Los Angeles you guys would be a desert.
Right. You guys want us to build a Golden Gate Bridge and a Hoover Dam, and then you guys move back in.
Right.
That's not how it works.
Right.
If this was your land all the way through, there wouldn't be shit here.
Yes.
Mexico, it'd just be more fucked up Mexico.
Yes.
So you see what we build, and then you go, hey, the Bonaventure Hotel, not too shabby. The Disney Music Hall, not too shabby.
Say goodbye to the Griffith Observatory.
Right. You wouldn't have any of that because you're not capable of any of it.
Yeah.
So understand
and
that.
all of the land was gotten through either war, treaties, or purchases. None of it was stolen.
But here's the comedy. I've driven the whole Baja Peninsula, or at least a lot of it. Mm-hmm. There's nothing there.
Right.
Mexico, if you want a Hoover Dam or Golden Gate Bridge, go sick. You got plenty of room to build shit on your land, but you can't fucking pull it off because you're Mexico and the indigenous people. Holy shit. You guys you'd be nothing. There wouldn't be anything higher than 2 stories. So fuck off, number one. But number two, I was thinking to myself, the American Indian, we had the same cycle with the American Indian as we did with pot and Ringo and Carrot Top.
And Ringo, okay.
You want me to weave this all together?
Yes, I know you can.
We started off as the American Indian was they were evil and they were savages, and every Western from the 50s was just a bloodthirsty savages.
Ringo is making sense now. I hear you.
We
hated Ringo.
They were the enemy.
Yeah.
And then we hated on them for so long that at some point we decided they're noble. And all of a sudden, this new version of an Indian came up about lean and mean and sober and noble and,
it's just tier.
Yeah, a single tier. The steward of the land and all that kind of stuff. So we swung it. We swung so far negative that we swung back positive too hard, I would argue. We did it with pot. Pot was reefer madness. You'll go insane. You should be locked up for having a half a joint, everything like that. We turned it into some sort of medicine later on. And now fucking kids are smoking pot and their fucking brains are fucked up.
And parents not caring that when their children are still developing. Oh, they're just getting high all the time.
Every woman in Santa Monica would rather their kids smoke pot than cigarettes.
Yes.
Okay. So we villainized it, and then we swung too hard. Back. Then Ringo Starr. In my lifetime, he went from a joke. If you were the shortest guy on the basketball team who never scored, you were the Ringo of the team, to top 5 drummers of all time. It gets mentioned now when they bring up drummers. They bring up Ringo Starr.
That was right place, right time. It's the only way.
They bring his name up.
Yes, they do.
And now Carrot Top.
Funniest guy in the world.
Carrot Top was a joke. He was a prop comic. Yeah. He was the butt of many other comedians.
He's a comedian now.
And now he's a comedian's comedian.
Yep,
so
absolutely.
Stick around. Hey, Chuck.
Everybody's going to Carrot Top show.
41 years from now. You're gonna have a renaissance.
Oh yeah, I'm already working on my props right now.
Nice.
Yeah, you will be seen through a different light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The point is you're universally hated.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
That's what he's saying.
It's going to be a different. It's going to be a different life for you in your 60s. That's all I'm saying. No, it's coming. You'll get there. You'll enjoy your golden years being heralded as a genius.
Heralded.
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought I already was a genius.
No, we're doing. Didn't I explain the whole Ringo Carrot Top thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of where you're at.
You did bring it around. I'm proud of you.
Right now.
It's coming around.
Okay.
It's coming around.
Yeah.
All right.
It's gonna, but not this weekend. It's gonna be a minute.
I had to front sell a lot of times, like with a little help from my friends, the Beatles song. And I'd say, hey, they let Ringo sing one. Mm-hmm. So even in radio, yes, Ringo was always the joke. And now Ringo can do no wrong.
I know.
And he and Joe Walsh are married to sisters, by the way. You know that?
Black women?
No. Yeah. The twins.
I thought about it for a second. I was like, oh, that's the problem with sisters. I don't think they're twins. I was like, a lot of women are somebody's sister.
Yeah.
So they're married.
And they're living good.
They're sisters.
They're all totally sober, taking care of themselves. So Ringo's got longevity. We're not done hearing about him.
Yeah, no.
Plenty of praise to be heaped.
Yeah. But he didn't help him. He doesn't help himself when he does songs outside of the Beatles and inside the Beatles.
Yeah.
All right. So
what
do we got? Marjorie and Barbara Bach. Oh, Barbara Bach is Ringo's girl, and Marjorie must be Joe Walsh's. Right. Yeah. And you can see, if you see Barbara Bach, you'll see a pretty good gene pool going on over there. Read the cast. I'm going to blow your mind, Andrew, because you think of yourself as a film guy. The movie Caveman. You ever see the movie Caveman, Andrew? No. Okay, you should. The cast. Dawson Caveman?
No, never.
I'm not even going to ask. I'll ask you once we herald you as a genius. I'll get... The cast of Caveman. Read me from 1981. Read me the cast.
Wow.
Or IMDb. Yeah, okay.
Ringo Starr. Dennis
Quaid. Barbara Bach.
Shelley
Long. Okay. John Matuzak, y'all. John fucking Matuzak.
Shit. Yeah, that guy was...
Avery Schreiber of Burns and Schreiber. You know, the Doritos guy from back in the day.
Okay.
And Jack Gifford, you know that guy anywhere. He's been in a million movies with the weird voice. John Matuzak was Raiders defensive. You know,
right.
He was a huge dude.
He played Tonda.
Yeah, he was like a big party animal. Sloth from the Goonies is in this bad boy. Keep scrolling.
Wow.
Scrolling down. Let's see.
I love you, Chunk.
Let's see. Richard Mull, Night Court. I don't know who Hubbard is. Paco. Let's see. This is a crazy film from 1981 that had a bunch of people in it who half of them weren't even actors, but Dennis Quaid. So I remember this because Barbara Bach acted with her husband Ringo in Caveman from 1981. All right. There's one. All right, what do we got, Dawson?
Well, we do got some news stories, but I want to see if you want to go over any other special moments in the State of the Union last night. I especially enjoyed the Somali pirates moment.
Yeah, that was fun. Well, maybe we'll take a look at it. It was funny.
The Somali pirates who ransacked Minnesota remind us that there are large parts of the world where bribery, corruption, and lawlessness are the norm. Not
Look at the lady next to Ilhan.
Importing these cultures
She's gonna hold her
through
hand in a second.
unrestricted immigration and open borders.
There's fake tears
brings
coming.
those problems right here to the USA. And it is the American people who pay the price in higher medical bills, car insurance rates, rent, taxes, and perhaps most importantly, crime. We will take care of this problem. We're going to take care of this problem. We are not playing games. Delilah.
He did say later on in the speech too. He said, "If we got rid of all the fraud, we would have a balanced budget. Or we'd have zero debt."
Rashida Tlaib had the fuck ice button on.
Yeah, smart.
I'm telling you, the women are going insane. That's what we're experiencing. Gyno-fascism. There's too many in there.
I get
they're
them.
crazed and they're nuts.
I get them.
Yeah.
They hate America.
Yes.
But the people who say, I love them, that's the craziness. I just don't get it.
I agree. I totally agree. I feel that way about like most everything. I don't, you take like Maneater. I don't hate Maneater. I hate the people who think they like Maneater. You know what I'm saying? Because without them, we wouldn't have anything.
I hate people who like that Pina Colada song.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, although that's enough of once something crosses into novelty to me, like it goes deep into like Right Said Fred, I'm too sexy for my shirt, whatever it is. Once something goes way deep novel, it's that way with all art with me. I can watch a great movie and I can watch a good movie, or I can watch a really bad movie like Caveman.
Yeah,
it's
and you can appreciate
once
it
it goes so south.
Yes.
I will enjoy it from a ironic standpoint.
Yes, I will say this. I don't like people who like Stranger Things, that show on Netflix.
I'll go with that.
Okay.
Right. Yes. I don't hate DJ Khaled. I hate people who like DJ Khaled.
Sure, he's got a grift. He's doing a great job. Good on you. I'm
Him
proud
on
of
his own is not. I should know who he is.
Yeah, without all these idiots, he would just be Khaled. He would just be Khaled, bro.
Right. We got Gavin Newsom because of idiots, not because of Gavin Newsom. Right. Gavin Newsom's a dime a dozen.
Right.
All right. So we got the pirate one. We got the.
That was good. He did say at one point he talked about a bill that would disallow senators and congressmen from purchasing stocks. And then he said, "Do you think Pelosi stood for that one?"
I think we have. I think we may have. First off, it's good.
It's just so damn refreshing to have a normal. And
I agree. I 1,000% agree.
It's like he's saying what all of us are thinking.
Also, the weird, and it's a weird part of life, but I sit there and I listen to him talk, and, he hits the border, or he hits jobs, or hits the economy, or he hits insider trading, or he hits Somalis. Basically saying what I've said my whole life. You can't take a group who does a lot of this and Somalis are involved with a lot of corruption. It's fine. Mexico's involved with a lot of street sales. But whatever it is, you can't just bring them all in and not expect them to recreate whatever it is they do. I would be surprised if they didn't.
Sure.
How else would this go?
Right.
And by the way, let me give you a quick example. When I was young, if you went around in September and drove around from any park, you might find X amount of Pop Warner football teams practicing. So I played for the East Valley Trojans, and we practiced at Beeman Park now, I think they call it. We'd go to North Hollywood Park. And then later on, the Sun Valley Falcons, and that was at Poly High in Sun Valley, whatever. But you could drive around the San Fernando Valley on a Tuesday at 5 in the afternoon and just see Pop Warner football playing. Okay, that's how I grew up. That was years ago. Now you drive around now, you see Mexicans kicking a soccer ball around.
Right.
Okay, what happened? Well, we brought a lot of Mexicans in, and guess what? They play soccer. Okay, is it good? Is it bad? It's just what they do. So now you drive around on a Saturday, and instead of a bunch of Pop Warner football games being played, you see a bunch of soccer being played because
adults
and kids and everything else.
A lot of kids, but honestly, around my house in North Hollywood.
Oh yeah,
it's adult leagues.
Your house
all over the place
has an extended strip of grass that has 11 soccer fields set up on it, and your house in that area that's where I played my Little League baseball.
Oh, okay.
And so back in the day, we would have been playing Little League baseball there. But we're not. But now we're playing soccer. Okay, so what happens? Well, you brought in a lot of Mexicans, and they're playing soccer. Why wouldn't they? That's what they do. You bring in a lot of Somalians, and they're going to grift. And you bring in a lot of Germans, and you're going to get a lot of pretzels. So that's just the way you're going to drink from a lot of boots. That's just the way it's going to go. That's how this is going to work. Yeah. So why is anyone surprised? I don't get it. And then it becomes racist, but it's not really. It is because we don't like the behavior they're engaging in. But the reality is they're doing what they do. And by the way, they're not doing what all of them do, just like all Mexicans don't play soccer. It's a higher percentage of them who play soccer. Right. So you get more soccer, and you get more graft and corruption from Somalians. Thank you. Go ahead. All right, we got this clip that Dawson sort of stepped on, but
Americans can profit from. That all Americans can profit from a rising stock market. Let's also ensure that members of Congress cannot corruptly profit from using insider information.
Lots of Democrats standing.
Democrats stood.
Elizabeth Warren on her feet.
Standing. Agreeing to that. The guy looks like Greg Fitzsimmons is standing.
Right.
They stood up for that. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Did Nancy Pelosi stand up when she was here? Doubt it. Pass the Stop Insider Trading Act without delay.
You know it'd be good. You know what I would do? Show from that beginning where they stand up one more time, because I'm telling you, J.D. Vance left money on the table here.
Issue with up to $1,000 each year, as we ensure that all Americans can profit from a rising stock market. Let's also ensure that members of Congress cannot corruptly profit from using insider information.
All right. He just stands up and you just get a full-size shot of his crotch. If J.D. Vance were smart, he'd gone full Spinal Tap. Like, let's get a large cucumber and just, like, duct tape it to the inside of his leg. And forevermore.
Boom.
Forevermore. It was just like
hog.
everybody. It would be all over the internet. You would blow up the internet. All you'd have to do is take, like, a medium-sized zucchini or medium to large cucumber.
The New York Post would have the headline, JD's pants.
That's right, JD's pants. And you just tape it to your inner right thigh, and you never say a word. It's just this huge outline of this like massive hog. And by the way, that'd be it forevermore. You'd be dead for 1,000 years, and people still be calling you JD Pants, right?
Yep. There was another part of the speech. I don't want you to find it, but obviously Trump embellishes, and he says things that you're like, okay, that's not true. But he said, he got shot in the leg, and the legs, that's the most important part of flying a helicopter. Anybody will tell you. Everybody will tell you. And I was like, I'm sure you need your legs, but I don't think it's the most important part.
Did he say? I was listening. Maybe you can find it. I mean, there's a lot of pedaling going on with
yes, there are
helicopters.
pedals. Yeah,
and I think that's what he's saying. But yeah,
I'm sorry, I got major freaking hay fever. Never happened to me before, and all of a sudden I get hit with allergies.
Really?
You want to get? Weird.
All right, we got the hockey team here, I think, which is good. That's another. Democrats won't stand for the hockey team, which is funny.
People are asking me, please, 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 Mr. President, we're winning too much. We can't take it anymore. We're not used to winning in our country. Until you came along, we're just always losing, but now we're winning too much. And I say, no, 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 you're going to win again. You're going to win big. You're going to win bigger than ever. And to prove that point, here with us tonight is a group of winners who just made the entire nation proud. the men's gold medal Olympic hockey team. Come on in.
Let me tell you something. You can pause it for a second. All the Democrats are sitting, and then they do that passive-aggressive, I'm going to stare at my phone thing.
Even the ones that are so close and on camera.
I'm telling you, if I'm running for anything, I'm standing up. If I'm a Democrat, I don't want footage of me fucking staring at my phone when the men's hockey team walks past me. Right. I don't want that shit thrown in my face in the next election. Maybe it makes you unpopular amongst Democrats, but I'm going to be like, fuck you. They won the gold. I'm standing up, douche. All right, sorry, play it. There's the men's hockey team. Got their gold medals. Got their sweaters on. Democrats hate it. But as previously stated, it's not like they hate hockey. They just hate America. They hate... Well, I'll tell you one thing. You can pause it for a second. Like I said, I see everything through the lens of my mom and my grandma. They hated any kind of patriotism. They hated any kind of we're number one. And if it was USA number one, they fucking hated it. It drove them insane. It's a weird enzyme they have. But USA chants and hockey teams and gold. And remember, they beat their beloved Canada. They fucking love Canada. They wish Trudeau could be the president of the United States. So the Democrats love Canada. They're in love with Canada because during COVID, he locked people down even harder than we did. And they love that shit. They're such a fan of that authoritarian bullshit that they fucking love Trudeau. Such a douche.
Insanity on display.
Yes.
Very, very eye-opening. It was a good watch. I enjoyed it.
There's a clip, which is a bunch of women doing a podcast who are like mocking the veterans who got the Bronze Star, the Service Star, whatever it is. But it's a funny thing. But I realized also it struck me too. Women are so much meaner than men, and they're in a weird way cruel. Not cruel like waterboarding cruel, but like cruel in their attitude. All right, so it's the helicopter pilot got his legs shot out. This is from the podcast. This is, I guess, ladies of color, even though I'm not exactly sure what that is anymore, because it's that Susan Rice thing where Roseanne's like, I didn't know the bitch was black. It's true. If you see Susan Rice, she looks like a tan woman with straight hair. You don't... then people are like, you should have known this person was black.
Well, they were talking about Valerie Garrett.
Sorry, Valerie Garrett. Yeah. I say Susan Rice. Sorry, I screwed that up. No, I'm not. I can't say for certain if someone is black. I don't exactly know. You can't tell by the hair and you can't tell by the skin anymore. So certain people know. You don't know. Sorry. Well, listen.
I was there, and it was as horrific as I thought it would be.
Did you leave early?
Absolutely.
It was like
It's a fucking women. This Representative Yvette D. What's that say?
Clark.
Representative
from New York District 9.
All right, so she's going to talk about being there but leaving early.
Horrific as I thought it would be.
Did you leave early?
Absolutely.
It was like an award show. You get a medal. You get a medal. You get a medal.
That's literally Mo just said. You get a car. You get a car. Y'all are on the same
That's
page.
a talking point, by the way. She's not the only one to call it an award show.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, giving the combat battle star to someone who got their leg shot out 20 minutes ago.
Right.
That's so
recognizing moments of true valor.
Yeah.
And self-sacrifice is an award show.
Yeah, I don't think that. I think it's a chick. I think it's a chick problem. It's that sort of. What's Elon Musk know? Nothing. He's the dumbest billionaire I know. Why don't you get the fuck out of here, Elon? You don't know anything. And what do? You don't do shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Except build rockets.
So what? This guy flew a stupid hella thing into place. But so what? It's like, hey, bitch, you fucking do it. And by the way, I know you don't appreciate anything that all the white dudes built or any of the wars ever won, but you fucking use them every day. So why don't you shut the fuck up? All right. Let's see.
Yes.
Let's see. All right, give me the story. You got the snowball story?
I do got the snowball story.
I got thoughts on that.
All right. New York City Mayor Zohran Mamdani on yesterday, downplayed Monday's snow-throwing attack on New York City Police Department officers, calling the Washington Square Park incident a snowball fight, despite multiple hospitalizations for facial lacerations. Several NYPD officers were struck in the head with snowballs, responding to a call about a large disorderly group at the park. Yeah. Following the assault, NYPD Commissioner released a statement saying the behavior was disgraceful and criminal, but Zohran said it looked like kids having a snowball fight.
It's such a weird thing. Now, it's a political thing to the extent that you have your side and their side, and you take a situation like the nut job chick in the minivan, and she's running at the ICE guy, and she gets shot in the head, right? Mm. And so you go, all right, well, that's a subject, and you go, okay, or Peretti, the guy's kicking the shit out of the back of the Suburban, spitting on the guys, then he gets wrestled later on, another incident, there's a gun, and then he gets shot. And so you take those two incidents, right? And you go, there's the CNN perspective. And the CNN perspective goes, Mom just dropped her kid off at daycare, is trying to make her way back home. And an ICE guy blocks her way. And next thing you know, she's dead. That's her thing. And you go, well, that's not quite what happened, right? And then there's the rights version, which is this woman turned this car into a weapon and was trying to run over an officer, and he tried to protect himself. And that's not exactly the version of it either, but they're both doing their version of it because that's what their side wants, right?
Right.
The thing that's weird to me, the part that's weird to me is when it's just the cops and you're the mayor. You know what I mean? It's like, the part that's something that's always stuck in my head when they did that whole whipping Haitians at the border horseback, right. Shades of Jim Crow, whatever. And Biden, who's a retarded race hustler, was just out there stirring things up. Yeah. And I said to Bald Brian, who's progressive, I go, I don't get why would Biden throw his border patrol under the bus that way? That's his border patrol. And Brian said, low-hanging fruit, easy. He scores some points. And I'm like, why are you scoring points as the president throwing? And then it's like, oh, you retards are so far gone, that does score points for you, right? But he went, it's a good opportunity to throw your border patrol under the bus. And I'm like, yeah, okay, the progressive left loves that. But it's like, why is the president doing that? That's his border patrol. Sure. By the way, no wonder the fucking border was wide open, that you guys didn't miss an opportunity to attack the border patrol. Mamdani, that's his PD. That's his police department. That's his city.
Right.
Why are you not missing an opportunity? Now, look, first off, it's not a snowball fight. It's you being pelted with snowballs.
Yes.
When you're a referee, when you're an umpire at a game, a baseball game in the 60s, and you make a bad call and you get pelted with beer bottles, that's not a beer bottle fight. That's you getting hit with beer bottles. This is cops being hit with snowballs. Some have rocks in them, some are ice, and what have you. All right, we'll play Mamdani. But it's always, and by the way, all right, Doss got to get a Kleenex, but that's fine. All right, we'll play the clip. Go ahead.
I've said that what I saw was a snowball fight. It should be treated accordingly. It was one that got out of hand, but that's what it was. Thank you.
Yeah, Mr. Mayor. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. So, Mr. Mayor, are you willing to revise your statement regarding the snowball fight, given that this was not exactly a friendly back and forth snowball fight? That the police that were there were not throwing any snowballs. They were getting pelted.
Somebody asked a normal question, which is, it's not a snowball fight. It's you getting hit with snowballs. A snowball fight is you throw snowballs at them and they throw snowballs.
A snowball fight makes it seem playful.
Yes.
That was not what that was.
By the way, he did that thing where he goes, I'm not going to outlaw snowball fights. Like, I love when they do that. It sort of reminds me of I think it was the John Kerry or Edwards one, where he's like in Davos, and he's like, why are you flying privately? You want me to sail here? Yeah, on an old-time schooner, you fucking retard. No, take Delta, you fucking asshole, where you'd have a smaller carbon footprint. I love when they change. There is, and you're going to have to find it, Andrew, I think, but there is the one where he does the beginning clip where he's like, I'm not going to outlaw snowball fights. Yeah, that's not what we're talking about, and you fucking know it. But go ahead, sorry. The person asked, run it back 10 seconds. The person asked a normal question.
I've said that what I saw was a snowball fight. It should be treated accordingly. It was one that got out of hand, but that's what it was. Thank you.
Yeah, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. So, Mr. Mayor, are you willing to revise your statement regarding the snowball fight, given that this was not exactly a friendly back and forth snowball fight, that the police that were there were not throwing any snowballs. They were getting pelted themselves. And number two, have you considered, or would you consider banning these crowdsourcing events, because they can and sometimes do get out of hand?
So I'm not going to be banning snowball fights or organized snowball fights. I've said
she didn't ask you to ban snowball fights, and she said, why do you keep calling it a snowball fight when these guys were being pelted with snowballs and not throwing them back? He's a fucking liar. But by the way, why does he have to throw the cops under the bus? Like, why the fuck did Biden have to throw the Border Patrol under the bus, and why does he have to? And by the okay.
Because it's probably the same thing that Mom Donnie is doing now.
Yes.
Joe Biden needed to
score points with your base.
Make the Border Patrol seem evil.
Right.
Because they wanted to allow everyone into the country. Maybe Mom Donnie wants to paint the police as evil so that he can defund them.
Yes, he paints them as racist before. I'm just saying it's all scoring points with your base, but who's your fucking base? A bunch of radical jihadists.
Unfortunately, it seems that way.
I will play you, oh God, who is this? Heather
McDonald.
Heather McDonald. Here's the Ferguson effect. So here's what happens. You villainize your cops. They stop doing their job. They stop signing up. They stop getting out of their patrol car. Who the fuck wants to get pelted with snowballs and then get thrown under the bus by their mayor? So fuck it. At a certain point, you just go, I'm not getting out of my car.
The blue flu.
And then you get the Ferguson effect. Here it is.
You could get rid of all police shootings of civilians tomorrow, and it would have virtually no effect on the black death by homicide rate. Blacks between the ages of 10 and 25 die of gun homicide at 25 times the rate of whites in that age category. And they're not being killed by the cops. They're being killed by other blacks. And nobody wants to talk about it. We're supposed to believe that we're all racist. It's the media that's racist. They don't give a damn about black lives. They don't give a damn about the dozens of blacks who are killed by homicide every single day. That's more than all white and Hispanic homicide victims combined, even though, as we said, blacks are 13% of the population. Virtually none of those black homicide victims gets covered. We are not saying their names because they're killed by other blacks, and we don't want to talk about that. So the Ferguson effect says when you demonize the cops back off. And guess what happens? When the cops stop making stops, when they stop looking at hot spots where shootings have happened and they back off, criminals get emboldened and more black lives are taken. That's what happened after the Ferguson riots, after the George Floyd race riots in 2020. We had an even greater meltdown. We had every single American elite institution declaring it was racist to the core. And the cops were, of course, as usual, one of the main targets of this. 2020 saw the largest one-year increase in homicide in this nation's history, 29%. And thousands more black lives were taken. That's what happens when you demonize the cops.
Well, there you go, black people. There you go. All right, good time. Listen, but there's part of me that sort of is going to watch and enjoy New York just sort of bottoming out because you fucking retards.
There are people around the country who love watching California bottom out.
I know, because they go, we have the first African-American female mayor. They have the first man of color, Islamist mayor. Like, okay, with all your first. You have the first retards who are going to run the city into the fucking ground. Enjoy it. I'll also play you this oldie but goodie, which is the beginning. It was the whole Trump LAPD response, the whole Trump star thing, which is, listen, if you assholes who are in law enforcement, and I shouldn't say the beat cop, but I just mean the DAs and the mayors and the governors and the folks at the higher echelons of the LAPDs and the New York PDs, if you guys, the executive class, if you guys are going to make jokes about these guys enforcing the law, LA, there's a reason why LA has street takeovers. It's because we tolerate it.
Yes.
And there's a scene, a mob of criminals that are throwing ice balls at cops, and the mayor comes out and defends them and not the cops. And so you will get more of this. I remember very clearly, and I remember showing you, Dawson, about 8 or 10 years ago, there was like some cops, and he went into a black neighborhood or whatever. Literally like a 6-year-old boy like threw a bucket of water at the cop. And I was like, that's a 6-year-old boy with a bucket of water chucking it at the cops. This is not what we're looking for, and society needs to take the cop sides. But this is, how many years ago is this? And I've showed it before, but they went to the LAPD union captain or whatever. He wasn't the captain of the cops. He was like the union captain or whatever. They'll say it on there. And this is a good 8 or 10 years ago. And people were walking up and down Hollywood Boulevard with a pickaxe, smashing Donald Trump's star. And somebody caught this guy in front of a good restaurant and asked him what he thought about it.
Yeah.
This is law enforcement.
Hey, what do you think about the ongoing defacing of Donald Trump's Star of Fame?
I'm in favor of it.
You're in favor of it?
It's a police
do you
commissioner.
Think maybe they should just remove the star? Is it becoming a public
I'm definitely in favor of getting rid of the star.
How many drinks is he in right there?
Sir. Have a good night.
He's going to drive drunk, but he's got this. He's got the badge on his wallet. He's not getting a DUI.
Right.
All right. Now the answer is it's disgusting. And anyone involved with that's going to get arrested.
Right.
And the answer from Joe Biden at the border is, I looked at the photos carefully, and I actually talked to the photographer, and they were not beating any Haitian migrants. These are patriots who are doing their job enforcing the border.
Even the photographer said that.
Yes, that should be Biden's answer.
Right.
Then Mamdani should be, it's never all right to pelt NYPD cop with a snowball or anything else.
Well,
we will be prosecuting these people to the fullest. That's the fucking answer, you assholes.
Yeah,
that's the only answer, or you get more.
Yeah. When you blatantly distort the facts for an answer like that, you have another motive.
Yes.
It goes back to the stupider liar. And
Mamdani doesn't like cops. He already called them racist. And there's going to be less signing up and more doing early retirement. And there's going to have more crime. It's going to be more fucked up city. Good fucking luck to you.
Yeah.
And by the way, why don't you look around, see what's happening in San Francisco or any other blue city, Chicago, and get your shit together? Because your plan's not working. It can't work. It'll never work.
Check out Skid Row, the 6th Street Bridge, any number of places in the Los Angeles area.
All right, what else you got?
Well, let's go local, LA now. Former Los Angeles Fire Department Chief, Kristen Crowley, remember her?
First woman who
She filed a lawsuit against the city of Los Angeles, heavily criticizing Mayor Karen Bass and her handling of the Palisades fire. If I was Kristen Crowley, I'd walk into court and say, Exhibit A, Your Honor, she hired me.
Yeah, that's right.
Gavel down, case closed, give her $3 million.
That's right. That's right. We love the first woman in whatever positions. Listen, I've told you guys a million times, we had Tom Bradley. He was the mayor, and he was black, and he was the mayor of Los Angeles starting like 68 or something. Like, we've had a black guy, he was good, and nobody said a word and nobody cared. So we don't need this thing where we're breaking down these barriers in Los Angeles. First woman, first woman of color, first black man. It's like we had a guy, Tom Bradley, 68. I mean, we are talking about 60, coming on to 60 years ago. Right. We broke it down. Right. And nobody cared. It was fine. He did a good job. Yeah, we'll have to pay her when her lawsuit comes around. But yes, Karen Bass is a dope, maybe a communist. I don't know. She's not fit to run anything. Why should she be? She's never done anything.
Well, the lawsuit says that Bass sought to avoid accountability by shifting blame and lying, including falsely claiming that she was not aware of the nationally anticipated weather event, falsely claiming that the LAFD's budget was not cut, and falsely claiming that the LAFD resources would have supported an additional 1,000 firefighters to fight the blaze, contradicted by public records and Bass's own prior statements. That's
well, look, the fact that she claims she didn't have access to information, like Rick Caruso had his fire crew.
There were deleted text messages, deleted voicemails. There's Karen Bass on tape explaining to one of her subordinates that it will all become clear why I took off. It will all become clear.
Why she took off?
Yeah, to Ghana.
Oh, to Ghana.
Why she didn't?
Yeah. I love the chick on chick crime. I love in the cackle. I love a chicken fight.
Yeah, I'm not sure who to root for in this one. You have one person fired from a job she wasn't qualified for in the first place. Well, and the other one elected to a job she wasn't qualified for.
To be fair to all the DEI hires, we just assume you weren't qualified because you're a chick. And
they're going to throw in an allegedly there.
No, what I'm saying is here's the scourge.
It's not good for you. Yes,
no,
we assume you're unqualified.
Here's the scourge of the DEI.
Yeah,
and affirmative action, as we used to call it. By the way, affirmative action is to DEI what ecology is to climate change or something. We had different words for it back then, but it's the same thing. If you are a young black man walking through the quad at Harvard, other people will see you and assume that your SAT scores weren't as high as the Asian kid who's walking the other direction, or that maybe it's the color of your skin that got you there versus other academic, achievements. Now, that may be true, but it also may not be true.
True, 100%.
You may have gotten a perfect 2000 like Gavin Newsom on the SATs. We don't know, but the real scourge is we just assume you got pushed to the front of the line because of DI. She may be unqualified, and I assume... Now, not unqualified to be an administrator in the fire department or be a fire person, but to be the fire chief of Los Angeles. We assume we did that because we're Los Angeles and we like the idea of a female in that role. But
she didn't get fired from the department, by the way. She is now the assistant chief of the Valley Bureau. So she works in my neighborhood now.
We have a clip of her. All right.
Period. Did the city of Los Angeles fail you and your department and our city? It's my job to stand up as a chief and exactly say justifiably what the fire department needs to operate to meet the demands of the community. Did they fail you? That is our job, and I tell you, that's why I'm here. So let's get us what we need so our firefighters can do their jobs. Did they fail you? Yes.
Yeah. Good for her.
That was pre-fire or post. Was that pre-fire or post-fire?
I think it was post.
But she's like, get us the firefighters we need or whatever.
I know. I know. Yeah.
All right, 2020. All right, Dawson, a yeoman's job except for the chains in the coffin. But other than
My
that,
bad.
it's all right. Bar Rescue season 10 out now on Paramount. Me, Friday, Saturday, Dallas, Texas, Hyenas Comedy Club, 2 shows each night. Go to adamcarolla.com for all that. Till next time. Adam Carolla for John Taffer and Dawson saying mahalo.
Ooh, news right here in California. We have Gavin Newsom mocking Nick Shirley for exposing fraud right here. We have an image of this. Have you seen what he tweeted? It's a completely made up AI image.
I did. We saw it.
It's not even like a how you doing fellow kids type meme. It says Nick Shirley right now, and it's a creepy looking dude with a whole bunch of cameras on and a pasty zombie type face that says, "Hey, can I see your kids?"
Yeah.
Because I guess Gavin Newsom is upset that people are holding his state accountable for the what is it, tens of millions of dollars of fraud right now?
Yeah, it's going to get into the billions, I'm sure. It's such a bad look and such a weird thing to attack someone who's trying to uncover fraud. It's such insane. But it's so funny because somebody pointed this out, and I think I liked it, Andrew, but he was, Newsom gave, he likes to do his sanctimonious speeches about Trump was making fun of him and his disability. And he did that super pussy move where it's like, don't you ever let anyone bully you. By the way, I love when people say, don't let anyone ever bully you. Here's the thing about being bullied. You normally don't have a choice. The guy's got 50 pounds on you. He's 4 grades above you, and he's going to kick your ass. What do you mean, don't let anyone bully you? If that worked, then no one would ever be bullied. People go, I got bullied by my boss because he's rich and he's successful and I have no training and I show up to work drunk. And it's like, yeah, that's how it happens. When you're big and strong, when you're built like Tony Gonzalez, you don't get bullied. But when you're spindly, CB Savage, you then get bullied. But I just like I like when the left goes, don't ever let anyone bully you. Don't ever let anyone talk down to you. Oh, I don't have a choice.
Also, isn't it victim shaming? When you say it's your fault, you let somebody bully you?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
This is the problem.
Right. Okay. So Gavin Newsom said to every kid with a learning disability, like those fucks could read this, don't let anyone, not even the president of the United States, bully you. So now if you get bullied, it's your fault because you let them bully you. Dyslexia. Well, it's far away. Dyslexia isn't a weakness; it's your strength. Well, it's not your strength. It's not.
I agree.
Yeah,
I think that's such a big.
Yeah, having a
dude. I'm in AP classes because I have dyslexia. Said no one ever.
Your clubbed foot is not a weakness; it's a strength.
So, Gwen Stefani is dyslexic. And some people think that Dolly Parton is, right? So it's maybe it helps you with your creative, or it might turn, if hey, I'm not very good at school and reading, I'm going to exert my efforts and my brain power to something else could be a potential strength, but that's not your average kid with dyslexia. I think it's really, really damaging when people are this thing that you have is your strength.
It's retarded. It's happy salad shooter bullshit. Nothing leftist talk. It doesn't mean it's everyone needs to be treated with dignity. Everyone needs to sit at the table. Everyone should everything. Tell that to Al Qaeda.
I don't believe Gavin Newsom even has dyslexia.
No, I don't either. I don't either. Listen,
it's such an easy scapegoat.
I got tested for dyslexia.
Yeah.
You can go in, you can get tested, and then they can say it's positive or it's negative. They have a test for it. So if you are Liz Warren or Gavin Newsom or whatever, or if you're Rochelle Walensky and you got your son vaccinated, except for you didn't fucking prove it, or shut up. Okay. But he, while telling everyone not to bully anyone, bullied a 21-year-old who was trying to uncover fraud by coming out with a hateful meme about a guy who's doing his job. which is great. By the way,
$170 million already uncovered during his most recent trip. The independent state auditor apparently warned of untold billions in fraud across 8 major state agencies back in December.
Well, let me say this to everyone all at once. People do this thing all the time where they go, well, you know, the right's just talking about Hunter Biden's laptop, and the right says it's real, and the left says it's not, and the right says COVID came from a lab, and we think it came from a wet market, and they say masks don't work, and that taking the vaccination's not effective, and then they go, it's just one side arguing with another. Here's my argument. One of us is right.
Yeah.
There's either fucking fraud or there isn't fraud. Either a mask works or it doesn't work. Either the vax works or it doesn't work. Or it either came from a lab or it came from a wet market. I want to find out who's right.
Let's get down to the truth.
Let's get down to the truth.
It's also worth noting that CBS News did a report on the California hospice fraud just last week.
Yes.
So a mainstream media outlet.
Right. But here's what I'm saying. Their argument is yeah, maybe there's some fraud, but they're just doing it because those guys are Trump fans, or they're just doing it, or he's not wearing a mask because he votes for Trump. And it's like, okay, let's say that's true, but there's still fraud and the masks still don't work. So fuck you.
Guess who's wearing a mask now?
Who?
Did you see Mr. Jimmy Tallarico?
James
Tallarico down in Texas that's running for Senate.
Oh, that
the Christian
that pussy. Yeah,
guy.
God's non-binary. God has a penis and a vagina.
And he also said that Mary, the Mother Mary, would have consented to an abortion.
Jesus,
but
he's
she
such
didn't
a
have
douche.
to.
Well, that's in the Bible.
You guys have fun with that douchebag.
So he showed up wearing a mask, like an N95 mask at an event this week, and saying that his campaign was officially vegan.
That's funny.
Yes, folks. It is March of 2026. And that guy, I mean, is he just going full Kamala Harris? Like, what do the Texas voters want? Okay, I'm going to do the complete opposite.
It is a weird thing because being elected is, I'll put it to you this way.
Mm-hmm.
I like steak tacos.
Same.
First smart thing you've ever said.
With the mics on.
With the mics on. You said smart stuff off there. I like steak tacos.
Uh-huh.
I do not really like chicken tacos.
Yeah.
Can I tell you, Dawson?
Yeah.
My enchiladas were ruined the other day because chicken and cheese starts with the same 2 letters.
Uh-huh.
And the guy's writing it down. He's handing it to the Mexican guy. Doesn't know. And I ate like a whole chicken enchilada before I really realized this is
no
chicken.
cheese
This
in
is
it.
because it's all grated up and there's some cheese in there.
Gotta go pollo and queso. No chicken and cheese.
Yeah,
come
you're
on.
right.
Learn some Spanish.
Cheese so much better than enchilada. It was dry and weird. But anyway, okay, here's being a politician is.
Yeah.
I like steak taco. I like it much better than a chicken taco.
Mm-hmm.
But if I found out that everyone's voting for me prefers chicken tacos, like 87% to 13%, I might cool it on the how great steak tacos are talk and what idiots chicken taco consumers are, because I would like them to vote for me.
And then you go and you meet with some chicken farmers and you talk about how they're the backbone of the economy.
Right.
And what a great service they do.
I don't get the guys that are going down the woke route. I don't get why. Maybe they want their steak taco at night, but play it close to the vest, man. That people don't like this.
It's fascinating, especially because it was like him versus Jasmine Crockett, and he seemed like the more moderate version for the Democrats to pick.
Right.
But now he's coming out the gate with this. Like, does he think he can't lose?
Did I, Dawson, and Andrew, did I get into my Jasmine Crockett equal time thing on this show, or was I doing it with Drew?
Oh, we talked about it for sure.
Oh, we talked.
I think we did talk
We
a
talked
little
about
bit
the
about
stupidity of the equal time and how how much money she ended up raising. Like, she was able to play victim and
What I'm saying is equal time or more time is not your friend if your ideas suck and you suck.
Sure. Yeah.
It's no different sorry if I'm repeating. I can't tell if I remember us telling Drew this or you guys this, but you watch, Dawes, you go and watch comedians all the time. You see guys up there struggling in minute 2 and really eating a dick by minute 6, and nobody ever says if they only had a full hour.
Right.
It's like, no, this guy's bad, and we got it.
You find out just how long 5 minutes actually is when you are dumb.
Kamala Harris did not need more time. She needed less time. And then as somebody brought up, and maybe, I don't know, is it true or whatever, Joe Biden got elected because they locked him in the basement and didn't let him near a microphone. That's why he got elected. Less time.
Don't speak.
Less time if you have a shit message.
Being in this industry, you go on TV shows all the time, right? Like you go over on
I'm highly sought after.
You're highly sought after guest on a lot of TV shows. The way that you are able to expound and monologue and chat about a host of things on a radio or a podcast show it exposes your inability to have like a complete thought or a unique thought or perspective compared to people who do 90-second Instagram and TikTok reels. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah.
And even I would argue sometimes people are okay on cable news or for a quick red carpet interview or something, but if you sit down with them for a longer segment, they ain't going to be able to hold their own.
Right.
And so that's that application to what you're saying when it came to Jasmine Crockett and just how bad all of her ideas were.
Yoo-hoo, breakaroo. Guy's a genius.
Should that be?
He's got to be missed. What year did that hero die?
Oh, I don't know when he died. The song came out in 76, 77.
Guess who was in North Hollywood listening to Dr. Demento, memorizing every line of C.B. Savage.
So it was literally on the radio. Like it was a real song on the radio. It wasn't like a Weird Al Yankovic parody song.
Weird Al was on the radio on Dr. Demento as well.
But everybody knew it was like parody.
Well, Dr. Demento has the name Demento in his last name. And so when he would play these songs, you would assume
that it was always, because there are a couple of country songs that sound like parody, but they're real country songs. Like there's one about like, did you see the 30-pointer? Or grandma got run over by a reindeer.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. Andrew, you can clear my screen if you like. All right, what's the next story?
So hopping on over to the East Coast, New York City's Mayor Mamdani used St. Paddy's Day to complain about the genocide in Gaza.
It's so weird that people, by the way, he's got a nice little brooch on. He's got his little sunflower brooch on. Means he's nice. He's a nice guy. He hates Jews.
I say this as over the past few years, as we've witnessed a genocide unfold before our eyes, there has been deafening silence from so many. For those who have long cared about universal human rights and the extension of them to Palestinians, silence, however, is nothing new. For Palestinians are so often left to weep alone. Yet former President Robinson has never been silent. Not when she was president, not when she was High Commissioner for Human Rights, and not in the decades since. As she once said, commemoration is a moral act. Her solidarity is many things.
All right, hold on. This is for St. Patrick's Day?
Yeah, so he's referring to former Irish President Mary Robinson, who at this breakfast honoring Irish New Yorkers. So apparently it was just a whole host of leftists. I don't know. I know some Irish New Yorkers, and they ain't down for this.
Well, they cannot go to Jesse Jackson's funeral or commemorate St. Patrick's Day without turning into some sort of political speech about either Trump or Palestine, which is fucking awesome. By the way, I know this guy hates Jews, but Jews should hate him because he's actually taking an event which is essentially the Holocaust, and then grafting it on to what Hamas and the Palestinian government is doing to its own people.
Yeah, and apparently this president, she was the president of Ireland from 1990 to 97 and followed Mamdani's lead. And after saying that St. Patrick's Day was a time to celebrate Irish culture and traditions, she said it's also a time to remember all those who may yet be living, quote, under the shadow of war and suffering. It is really interesting. I have some Irish friends that came over for St. Paddy's Day dinner at the Krauts house, actually. And there is a big correlation, I think, between a lot of Irish people that they feel because of the disenchantment with, the monarchy and everything that went down historically there, that they feel like a connection to the Palestinian cause. And I use air quotes because of I feel sympathy for the Palestinian people, but not.
But that was England doing it to them.
Yes.
This wasn't.
They view Israel as England, like the bad guy in the
But
situation.
the difference between Israel,
it's a big difference,
and England was doing it to them. Israel's not doing this. Would be like the Irish blaming the Lucky Charms guy for destroying their life.
Yeah, remember when 6 million Liverpudlians were put in a gas chamber? Jesus.
No, literally, like it's fascinating though how the narrative.
They love it.
They love the narrative.
They're fucking wrong. Here's what it is. Here's basically their worldview, and this is a problem, and this is why it can never be fixed. I'm going to paint a very clear picture. You have one house on the block, and that block and that house, the one house on the block, has a intact religious family who raises their kids properly, who mows the lawn, who paints the fascia. The dad works hard, the mom works hard, and they all eat supper together at the same time.
Without screens.
Without screens.
You're describing the Krause house, Adam.
They cook. Mama cooks meal. They say a prayer. And when they're done, they read. They read to the children. That's what they do. And they do not indulge in tobacco or alcohol or drugs. Then there's another house.
Yep.
That other house lets the kids run around in their dirty diapers, swears at each other, drinks, smokes, doesn't mow the lawn, and doesn't pick up the dog shit. Okay. And that house is a mess. Now, middle-aged white people and do-gooder Karens and all these other assholes from around the nation, they look at the two houses and they go, why is that one house doing so well and that other house is falling apart? And then they go, that house must be doing something bad to the house next to it. No, it's not that house. It's the people in the house. The people in the house, the Palestinians and the government and Hamas and all the warlords and all the terrorists you guys see fit to run your country, destroy your country, not the civilized country next to you. By the way, you know who wants you to get your shit together in your house more than anybody?
Yeah.
The guy living next to you.
The nice house neighbor.
Because he's tired of getting his outdoor furniture stolen by you. He's tired of his kids being punched by your kids. He's tired of your dog shitting on his lawn. He hopes very much that you get your fucking house together. That's what he hopes for you and for him. Because he'd like a relationship where he could borrow a cup of sugar and you guys could come over and have a beer and a barbecue. He wants that world where your kids can play in harmony together. That's what the guy in the nice house wants. He hates the fact that you guys have ruined your house, but you fucking ruined it. You did it. And you're being enabled by these guys' friends who then get in positions of power like the Squad and Ilhan Omar and these assholes. And every time they grab a mic, they start talking about the one house that's actually taking care of business on this whole block.
Yep.
And by the way, everyone on that block, known as the Middle East, is living in a ramshackle piece of shit house because they won't get their shit together. You understand?
No notes.
Fuck off. Thank you. Inspiring.
It's also kind of emblematic of what's happening in Iran right now, too. Is everybody's like, well, wait, they're fine.
Yeah.
As they murdered tens of thousands of innocents in the streets. And
Jesus Christ. Wake up, Whitey. Wake up.
Oh, you can't call him Donnie Whitey. I guess you can call the former president of Ireland Whitey. She's probably really pasty white, too.
They're letting all the, Europe's committing suicide. They're all idiots. You don't understand who these people are. They want you dead. They're suicidal, homicidal maniacs.
Yep.
Okay. Who want you dead. Okay. Wake up.
And speaking of more fans.
By the way, when's this going to stop? When they stop wanting you dead, then it'll stop. That's when it stops.
I mean, that's what Dennis Prager has been saying for years, right?
Jesus Christ, I know.
Like if Israel put their arms down, Israel would be destroyed. If Hamas put their arms down, then there could be peace in the Middle East.
That's right.
And
That's
maybe
right.
some Trump towers on the Gaza Strip.
That's
I don't
right.
know.
That's right. That's right.
All right. Speaking of people who love the woke narrative and SJP type crowds, a leaked teachers union K through 12 training presentation railed against Trump administration and red state officials. This comes from Fox News. The National Education Association, also known as the NEA, which is one of the largest teachers unions in the country, with over 3 million members, conducted a training session last month with far left political messaging, according to a watchdog group.
All teachers unions need to be disbanded. They need to be broken up. They have too much political power. They start calling the shots. They hurt the kids. They're a bunch of fucking crazy yentas run by, what's her name? Motherless, soulless, godless Roberta Weintraub or whatever her name is.
No, you're talking. Yes,
Yeah.
I know who you're talking about. The lady during COVID.
Yes.
Who was literally sending notes to the Biden administration about what the teachers wanted to do, and then they just went off of that instead of data. Randy Weingarten.
Randy Weingarten.
I knew it would come to me.
Yes.
All
yes.
right.
Randy Weingarten. Is that who you want teaching your kids?
Nope.
A angry lesbian?
Nope.
Whose number one job is to have all her union employees go home and get paid while your kids just languish at home? Is that what you fucking idiots want?
And don't learn how to read and write. The NEA training argued that the Department of Education is, quote unquote, now actively committed to violating civil rights.
Okay, listen. You got to break up those unions.
They want to protect vulnerable students, Adam. That's what they said.
Yeah. They love the kids.
They love the
children.
kids so much. They love to
children.
keep information about the kids from their parents.
I love it. I know. They want to transition the kids and give them all just vote Democrat.
So the teachers unions apparently took issue with Trump administration's designation of Antifa as a terrorist organization. You know, people who wear masks and attack innocent people.
Remember 10 minutes ago when Antifa didn't exist?
Yeah.
It was just an idea. So there is, according to them, the Klan is everywhere.
But also doesn't exist.
But Antifa doesn't exist. The Klan is everywhere. Antifa doesn't exist. How come every fucking time I turn on the TV set, I can see Antifa fighting with cops, but I never see the Klan fighting with cops? Like, I can find Antifa. I don't know where the Klan is.
They would argue that the Klan is systemically involved in all of the decision making in the United States. There you go.
Calling the shots quietly.
Calling the shots.
Right.
The training made it clear that there's an importance of adhering to gender pronouns and the specified gender identity of students, saying that educators can and should address students the way that they want, regardless of whether their identity differs from school records. Should I go on?
No, I mean, yeah, but it's so sad what happened to teachers and what happened to society. But it's the unions.
Like, they used to be the best of us. Well, and the NEA, like other teachers unions, have spent tens of millions of dollars funneling money to left-wing groups, with critics pointing to the number of students struggling with poor test scores at the exact same time.
Right.
Fox News Digital, of course, reached out to the NEA for comment, and they said no. Back in January, by the way, there was a whistleblower employee within the NEA who spoke out against the toxic politics inside the union's headquarters.
Well, you can't listen. Every large group starts to tack toward the left, and it's kind of a weird thing. And there are probably examples in the defense industry or like engineering, the guys who build commercial buildings and stuff. Okay. If you have a business where you have to actually do shit, then you won't tack toward the left, because you have to think in a pragmatic way, which means you won't think, pronouns are neither here nor there. You're trying to build a dam, or you're a defense contractor, or you're building a bridge, or whatever that thing is. All right. But every group that is sort of idea-based always tacks toward the left. Like, if you don't really have anything to do, like Sierra Club or ACLU or teachers unions, if your group is just an idea, then you can afford to go to the left, and you always will.
What's fascinating, though, is I think when it happens with corporations making the move to the left, I don't even know that the people like on the board or at the corporation care. It's like the loudest minority within the organization or the company that they're afraid of. And I think that the fact that, my mind was blown that there are apparently conservatives that work at NEA headquarters.
Right.
Like, I think that maybe they joined it because they believed in the original cause of the group, and now they're like the lone warrior. They're all by themselves, and I think that sometimes that can happen in corporations and other types of groups as well.
The left will weed those people out and get rid of them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you were a voice on the right in this group of cackling yentas, sorry, they're mostly all women. If you were a voice on the right and you showed up after the election and you're like, I voted for Trump and I'm glad he won, they'd figure out a way to get you out of there.
But what's
real
fascinating
fast.
is they start to then eat their own, though. Like, you don't even have to be a full-on MAGA wearing hat person. Like, you could just be like hey, what's the data show for how lockdowns affected children in the country?
Any truth seeker would
and
be
that
thrown
would be
out.
like red flag to them, right?
Yeah.
And then they start to eat their own, because then if you're not left enough for them, they will destroy you.
Yes.
I heard a story the other day about somebody who had to do some type of work event, and somebody had recently changed their pronouns, but she went off of the pronouns that was like on the documentation.
Uh-oh.
And then the pronouns that she used got her in trouble, or they in trouble.
Pronoun trouble.
And then it was like a whole thing in the office of like, you didn't use my proper pronouns. And it was like, but these were the pronouns that I had on the HR documentation.
I know. It's my favorite.
And they eat their own.
No, I agree. You had the woman at the LA, I think it was California Teachers Union conference or whatever, was explaining she didn't like the term homeless that we looked at a couple of weeks ago. That's, by the way, the teachers group over there. She wanted to say unhoused neighbor or whatever, and the guy was like, well, but it was on the sheet officially. Like, okay. We're not at a point where we're arguing with dumb people about nothing, is essentially, while the border's open and terrorists come floating in.
And there's homeless people everywhere.
Right, who are dying.
And we're giving them clean needles because we think it helps them.
Yes. Okay. One more story.
Oh,
What do you
goodness. Well, I mean, we're circling back to the song at the top of the
CB
segment.
Savage?
I mean, listen to this. This involves vehicles and gay voice. Full circle. And you didn't even know this was coming.
Break 'em on 9.
NASCAR has suspended driver Daniel Dye after he used gay voice on a live stream podcast. Apparently Tuesday, they indefinitely suspended him after a second major penalty against the young driver after he used what he called a gay voice to mock another racer during a live stream.
Oh,
here we go.
Now, by the way, is it a little close-minded to say there is a gay voice? But anyway, all right, let's
I think so.
I didn't know Miata's went to Nashville. He's like, why don't you eat your food? It's like, oh my gosh, yes. They race Indianapolis too. I love Indianapolis. And Roger Penske. I love Roger. Love you, Roger. As soon as I start doing a David Malukas gay voice, I hit a gold. So let's keep it going.
So, apparently, the comments ran afoul of NASCAR's rules that bar members from making any statement that criticizes, ridicules, or otherwise disparages another person based on that person's race, color, creed, national origin, gender, sexual orientation, marital status, religion, age, or handicapping condition, the organization said. Dye apparently drove NASCAR's third flight Craftsman Truck Series, a developmental level below the Top Cup Series, and a second flight of O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. He's in 13th place after 3 starts. And apparently, Malukas, the guy that he made fun of, is a 24-year-old son of Lithuanian immigrants and races in the top flight. He apparently apologized on his social media and admitted fault over there. He said he chose his words poorly, and I understand why it upset people. I'm sorry to anyone who was offended.
Nobody was offended. Not in NASCAR.
He
They'd
also
be offended
says-
if there's a gay driver.
He also said he needs to be a better friend to the community.
Okay.
The community.
Yeah, he doesn't care. Okay, but here's the thing. We got to cut cage fighters, NASCAR drivers, and infantry soldiers some slack. You know what I mean? They go, that guy sounded like, he just got stepped out of an octagon. He just got kicked in the head. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, these are folks that do stuff that we don't do. It's a completely different culture and community. We cannot, basically, they need their own N-word.
Oh.
Meaning,
like a 22-year-old NASCAR driver.
Yeah, like a rapper can use the N-word because that's his culture.
Yeah.
We go, the N-word, worst word you can say. Except for they say it all the time. Why is that? Well, we cut them some slack because it's a cultural thing. Making fun of gays is a cultural thing when you drive in the Craftsman Truck Series. See what I'm saying?
Yeah. Our gay buddy, by the way, Dave Rubin, has said, let people say gay.
Yes.
Like, because it tends to be like a kind of bro-y thing that people do.
Yeah,
he's clearly a 22-year-old idiot.
leave
His
him alone.
prefrontal cortex is not fully formed.
He drives a race car. They don't.
By the way, I didn't know who he was until this popped up all over social media. So it's like you're giving the kid a bigger name.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have mixed thoughts on this. If this was my son at 22, I'd be like, you're an idiot. Come on.
Yeah, but who cares? Right.
But also, unless this guy, he wasn't making fun of him being Lithuanian, and it doesn't say anything in this article from NBC News about whether or not he identifies as a member of LGBTQ.
I want to know what the damage was. What's the damage? Who was hurt?
Nobody.
Exactly.
Nobody cares. Who are the brothers that drove? Not Labonte.
Bush?
There's a couple of brothers that were in NASCAR years ago. And one of them does all the commentary. And I always tell you that guy sounds gay, but he's not. But there is a gay. I always say that guy. You know who I'm talking about, but I cannot think of his name.
Has a more feminine sounding tone.
There are guys that are from parts of the South that are not gay, but they're kind of dandies. You know, they sound like that because they're from that part.
Like there's some good old boys from Mississippi and Alabama that have a certain tonality. Is that what you're talking about? Like
not really saying good old boys. I'm saying Southern dandy, like guys who would have owned a plantation back in the day, and they sound.
So we can make fun of them because their ancestors owned slaves.
Yeah, what was?
We're allowed to make fun of
brothers. NASCAR announcing driver. It'll hit you. Tall guy. That's Dale Jarrett. No, the brother Parsons, Benny Parsons. I don't think it's Benny Parsons. You'll know it when you see it. He's tall. He's done tons of NASCAR events, and he drove, and his brother drove. So I'm trying to think of who.
I only know him from his picture, so I'm trying to find that.
Yeah, he'll drive me nuts. I can never think of this guy's name.
That's kind of interesting though, because most of the time, sports announcers have a very unique, deeper tone.
Yeah.
And most of the time, women, because our voices are at a higher register, like I actually, not because I'm sexist or self-hating woman, but like there's not many women that I will listen to for a long period of time because there's a higher octave that is like less easy to listen to. So it's interesting that he ended up being like he can call the races because he has that kind of a voice.
He raced for a long time. His brother raced, and he was in the NASCAR booth for a million years. But I don't know why. Well, a lot of brothers race. It's not Jared. It's not LeBron.
He kind of has a Huell Hauser affectation,
right? Yeah. I don't know why it's going to drive.
Exactly who you're talking about.
I can picture him. He's tall. He's got dark hair. He's nice looking. He raced for a million years. His brother raced. I'm pretty sure his brother raced, and he was in the booth for a million years. So hopefully there are lots of people listening right now that are yelling this guy's name into the air, and it's going to drive me nuts. And we'll find it as soon as we get off the air.
So the first suspension that this Daniel Dye kid got actually makes sense.
Waltrip, yes. Now, why didn't Daryl Waltrip and Michael Waltrip? Why doesn't that come up faster? But anyway, yeah,
the first suspension makes sense because he was 18 and he was taken out of the Oval in 2022 for allegedly punching a high school classmate in the groin, leading to a felony charge that was reduced to a misdemeanor before eventually being dropped.
I like this guy.
So we go from physical altercation to verbal altercation.
I like him. That's what you want. That's the guy you want behind the wheel. All right. This Sunday, Santa Ana. Go out and see me in the cars. Just go to adamcarolla.com for all the live shows. Nebraska's coming up. Again, go to adamcarolla.com for the live stuff. Alicia Krause, where do we find you?
Washington Examiner, Daily Wire, on Instagram, wherever.
And until next time, Adam Carolla for Alicia Krause and Stephanie Hodges saying, mahalo.